tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your #1 source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What is up, Face Off fans? We are here in the AFTERBUZZ studio bringing you another Face Off after show, and it's all about animal attraction today. I'm your host, Danica Kennedy, and joining me as always is
Alana Jordan.
What's up, girl?
What up, what up?
We're cat bunnies.
Cat bunnies.
Doesn't really go with the Lion King at all, but it goes with
whatever,
this,
animals, it works.
Yeah, this night's episode of Face Off. It's animal hybrids. All right, this week on the episode of Face Off, as well as our episode tonight, we didn't have a guest. Neither did the episode, so we're kind of matching. It's perfect, right?
Yeah, there you go. Well, we did that on purpose.
Totally. We planned it. Next week, I'm sure we'll have a guest back in the studio. So this week, we're probably going to keep it short and sweet. We're going to go through all of the makeups they did for their animal attraction challenge. They only had one challenge this week as well, so
just the spotlight. Yeah,
it was kind of the spotlight of the week. My girl Sasha rocked it this week.
So good.
I have to dive into talking about her first because I just loved her sculpture on the face. It was a lot like Damien's with the whole kind of cat owl look, but her leggings kind of failed her at the end, whereas Damien's feather and fur costume kind of blended more
His was
cohesively.
more cohesive, yeah.
But I felt like her face, the sculpture itself, was so good. I love how she also mentioned Furbies because, you know, we're children of the 90s, as you can tell from our tokers right now. So Furbies, you know, shout out to the 90s. Love it.
Shout out to Furbies.
Shout out to Furbies.
Yeah, I thought Sasha did a phenomenal job. I love that Glenn pointed out that the one thing that it was lacking was her confidence because she was worried that she was going to do so poorly this episode and that her leggings were going to be her demise and she was going to get sent home, and instead she's top looks.
She should have, I could tell she was going to be one of the top looks though while they were sculpting her.
Oh, so good.
Hers was just way better from the beginning. She started out on the right foot and there were a lot of people fumbling this episode. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Sasha, a lot of the time, you know, she's such a perfectionist that she wants to get everything done right, and so she doesn't want to show anything unless it's perfect. But it's like, it's so good, just showed off. Same with Dina's. Both of them are very like low confidence in their work, but then they end up being fine. And Dina always thinks she's going to be one of the bottom looks,
and she's great.
She's usually
phenomenal.
safe or one of the top looks.
And I know she was
like
all bummed because she didn't have enough of the red fur because it had already been taken. But I thought her paint job made it even better than if she had just used the fun fur that was already there without going through and fully painting it up. I thought that ended up working to her advantage, having the blank white slate for her to add her own flair to.
Well, and as a makeup artist, she's actually doing makeup on the fur and the costume herself, and that's more of a makeup job.
Mm-hmm. I thought that she did a phenomenal job this week, too. She constantly, I think, surprises herself even. Definitely surprises the judges.
I think that she needs more confidence, and so does Sasha. I would like to see them pair up, actually. And
I would love to see that combination.
Both Sasha and Sig were my favorites this week, and I know I said that they were my favorites last week, and I'm being biased probably, but both of them have a really good eye for detail and coming out with, like, a character. And for a show like Face Off, and, you know, your job as a makeup artist is to do makeup, you know, for movies and where you have HD cameras and all these close-ups. And Sasha or Sig's or Damien's makeup would hold up in a movie environment. But, you know, Kaylin's
very
and
cinematic.
Doc's, they're not detailed enough for the close-ups, and it's too not charactery enough. It's too cartoonish.
It's
almost
the theatrical versus the cinematic, and for what they're going for the cinematic. They're not going for the
Halloween
this look good
costume.
far away. Yeah, it's
some of them are too like mask-like. You need it to be able to move with the person and have it be a character on the big screen, I think.
I thought Sig was somebody else who just blew me out of the water this week. Like,
that was amazing. I loved the teeth.
I also loved that he and George both picked the same kind of characters and both made something really cool, and that they started the episode with a highlight on their awesome facial hair.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, props. I appreciate it. I appreciate that it's awesome and that this is like the season of badasses.
I love how the further we get into the show, the more we get to see of them at home and just them hanging out, because they're a really fun cast.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to know them a little bit here and there from having them in the studio. And I just want to see how they acted together, because I bet that was fun.
They just seem like such a fun group, and they have that great dynamic, and they're working together, and they have such that positive reinforcement. You know, Kaylin's telling Stella that the nose on it looks good. She's giving her the positive reinforcement. They're not trying to cut each other down. George is throwing on his armadillo suit.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. He was like racing around in it. I wanted George's makeup to blend into his costume a little bit more. I loved his piece, but it was just a little bit like rubbery in the arms. I think the actors too go a little too much sometimes, and I'm like, rein it in. Like, you don't need to go that crazy.
That his actor was allergic to the glue, and he didn't know that until it was application time. So
he was worried about the face falling off while it's on stage, even.
So I think this episode, especially in that scenario, really highlights these unexpected challenges that pop up during these challenges. Like, they're not stressful enough already. Then these guys have to deal with these added elements that they're not expecting, and they handle it so well. So
I felt like
season 7.
They their characters for Sig and George kind of matched their personalities. I felt like, because they're like the chill dudes that are like hanging out, kicking back, having a good time. And, you know, the armadillo gator for Sig, you know, he looked like a skater dude himself. He had like the baggy t-shirt and the sweatshirt on. I thought it was funny that they kind of matched.
I was excited too for Sig that he got to do a more creature makeup that I think he's been waiting for this whole season up until this episode. So I thought he really, really had the opportunity to shine in this episode, and he definitely brought his A game.
We were talking with him last week about Bizarro Gogo and the characters he's made on this show this season. You know, the big tuna and the one this week. I feel like those could go in a comic book together or a movie and be like arch nemesises.
They tell a story, and that's what I love. I love when these makeups are intriguing and you want to know more about this character.
Even like the silhouettes of them. Like, you don't even have to see the makeup, but you see this personality that shines through the actor and the makeup itself.
I love it. I think great season. Unfortunately, there are a couple people who didn't really
Stella.
step up.
Stella, I was rooting for you so much. Stella! Perfect. She knew she was fumbling a lot this episode, and I really like her. So I was like, hold in there.
Her.
In the very beginning, she wasn't confident with her nose, and she just redid it completely. I think that was a good move, because I was thinking it looks so Whoville.
Yeah, it looks very Dr. Seuss.
Very Dr. Seuss. And bringing the nose out and just changing it up a little bit really made that cartoonish Dr. Seuss look go away. And I think that saved her
this week. Yeah.
But she had a few fumbles this week, but Doc was the one that went home in the end. Poor Doc. I love Doc too. I love all of them. I'm growing attached to the artist.
Doc has been top looks too twice already. So I know he was I think he had the best attitude when he was leaving, which is, I auditioned every season. I made it. I'm proud of myself for making it. And he should definitely be proud of himself. He got top looks for both Twisted Trees and for the American Gangster Challenge. He did a he's done great this whole season.
I was pretty shocked that he got sent home. Like last week during predictions, I would not have guessed that he would be the one going home this week. He's been very strong in the competition so far.
I think he just bit off more than he could chew.
Fumbled this time.
He couldn't fix any. He just kind of half attempted everything and gave kind of a
bald eagle squirrel though. That's a weird combination.
It is.
He reminded me.
It was also too humanistic.
Yeah, it looked like Voldemort with duck feet. He was like doing some aviation classes and like fumbled.
Howard the Duck feet are what
went
got
through
me.
the
I was
mud,
like, oh,
crash landing.
Straight up Howard the Duck.
The Voldemort face. It was too human-like, I guess, for an animal attraction, animal hybrid, task. You have to follow what the homework assignment is.
The proportions were off. It was these
on.
big, giant bird feet, but it didn't fit the rest of the body. It didn't make sense fully. So I think that's what really got him was he, when they told Stella she didn't play to her strengths, I feel like that was Doc's biggest flaw this week, and what really ended up being his demise was he didn't play to what he's good at.
He should have just played up and gone his creative own route. I want to see more of his stuff though. Like I was sad to see him go this week because he's done so well in the competition so far. But I thought he was worse looked. I agree with what the judges said for the most part in this episode.
He just dropped the ball, but I think he's a phenomenal makeup artist. He's just this week wasn't up to snuff. So, but I think we'll definitely see more of his work in productions, and I think he's going to be just fine career-wise.
I'm sure. Oh, yeah.
Because he's so talented.
All the people on this show, at this point especially, you have to be so talented to even get on the show. And now this far in the competition, there's, 10 people left now. It's getting pretty cutthroat to the, best of the best.
It's intense already. So, I'm excited to see more.
Me too. What did you think about Kaylin's this week?
Kaylin, oh, poor Kaylin.
I liked the face. I felt like it would have been a great, cartoony cosplay kind of thing, but the eyeballs were so distracting to me. Well, the big ball eyes.
Yeah, and that's what the judges said too. But I feel like what made me so sad was she was saying, this is something that they could love or they could hate, but it's something that I'm proud of putting forward. And then when they said they don't like it, she goes, oh, I know it was going to be bad. It's like, well, don't have that defeatist attitude. If you were proud of it before, art is subjective. This is art.
With it.
Yeah, be proud of what you do. If it doesn't quite work out, it's an aesthetic. Different people like different things. So I thought the bug eyes kind of worked. I mean, it was a big prominent thing, and it was somewhat theatrical. But depending on what the production is, that could work. Depending on what the director wanted. So, I feel like she was really hard on herself, and I feel like based on what the other people have done this episode, it made sense that she would be a bottom look, but at the same time, I feel like it really could have gone either way. She was, I think, on the cusp and could have been safe.
I feel like she went a little too alien for it. She had the alien challenge, and her alien was very cat-like. It kind of had a cat bunny face, and then for this challenge, I felt like her animal hybrid was a little alien-like, and I like when makeup artists have that style and they take you to another world, into a magical place, and that's what they're supposed to do through their art and through their creativity. So I like that she kind of has that similar style throughout her art, but it wasn't the assignment, really. I feel like it wasn't exactly an animal hybrid for me. It was a little too cartoonish, a little too sci-fi, which is rad for Comic-Con or, a really, cartoony style movie, but compared to the other looks, it just didn't hit home for me.
Yeah.
But she's such a go-getter. You can tell that she's in it to win it.
This was a minor setback for her. This isn't
a little bit this episode.
This isn't her downfall.
Fine.
This is just a hiccup. Yeah.
It's nothing. That's how I felt about it too. I think she's fine.
I think she'll be fine.
Stella and Doc were really the ones this week where I was like, Stella's face didn't match the rest of the outfit. And that was the thing that bothered me the most. It was this orange spray tan looking face with a white and brown body.
And she knew that it didn't work. And
she knew.
I mean, I'm glad that she at least was consistent with her opinion of her work as well. She she's very aware of what she's doing, and if something's not working and if she's not getting it, that's really when you're looking at, I mean, for the competition, it's obviously going to set her back, but when you're looking at how somebody's going to succeed doing that career-wise, if these hiccups come in, her being able to be self-aware to say, I'm lost on this, I need some more feedback, I need some sort of direction on this, and being able to ask for that from a director, I think that proves that she's really going to be able to handle herself well in these high-pressure situations that she's definitely going to be in after the show.
It would be great to see, like, what it would have turned out like if she didn't go back and sculpt, because she had to redo the face, and that, you know, took so much more time out of it, but it probably helped her a lot.
I think it would not. She might have gone home, honestly.
I think so. I think it's good she just went for it and just sprayed it and didn't even match it.
She dodged a bullet.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds bad, but she lucked out that Doc tanked this week, kind of, in a way, because she was close. What did you think about the safe ones this week?
You know, I thought that it made sense that everybody who was safe was safe. Rachel.
Dina was the one that thought she was going to be on the bottom, but she wasn't.
Dina was fine. It looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was fine. And Drew, I thought, you know, he was all worried because he was working with the hydrocal for the first time and was worried that it was going to delaminate and break off. But the show is so good about setting up suspense and then being like, actually, it's fine. So that was definitely his situation.
They always do that every time. I swear they're like taking the molds apart and they build up this suspenseful music. And every time you think it's going to shatter and break, and then you're like, it's fine. Calm down.
It's fine.
Get you.
Calm down. Yeah, I thought Jason, I love Jason too. I just want to see more and more from him.
Me too.
I'm definitely glad that he's still in it, and I think that he's not one of the ones that are in it to win it, I think, as strong as some of the other competitors like Kaylin, who are really just trying to give it their all and really, you know, everything. But I think he, like Doc, is just appreciative of where he's gotten so far, and I think he's just going to keep doing better and better and better. And, you know,
I want to see more from him. I hope he lasts a while. And I wish he lived in LA so he could come on our show.
Yeah, but ATL represent.
I know, right? The South.
Yeah.
Gotta represent. Well, speaking about shows, you know, holding you on the edge of your seats, be sure to check out our show on iTunes. All you have to do is go to AFTERBUZZ TV on iTunes, check out the Face Off After Show. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, rate, all that jazz. We love checking out the comments from you guys. And pick our brains. You got to tweet us. Let us know what you think. You know, we all have our own opinions, and we would love to hear what you guys have to say about our show and these makeup artists and their makeups.
And while you're online, head on over to Twitter and be sure to tweet with #FaceOff. They're still doing the challenge, the weekly challenge of fan favorites. So tweet what your fan favorite is to Syfy's Face Off with that #FaceOff, and also to us, so we can see how our fans hold up to the rest of the fan base that they have for Face Off, to see if we kind of match the same people, what we're thinking that week.
And we'll also just want to help out our makeup artists, our fan favorites, because there's money on the line. They can win $10,000 if they get the most tweets with #FaceOff and their Twitter handles. So be sure to help out your favorites. Also, we have a lot of shows here at AfterBuzz. Basically, if you're a fan of any TV show, just look it up here at AfterBuzz. We probably have an after show for it. I know we've hosted many, so be sure to check them out.
Parenthood,
the leftovers you're working on. I used to do the Kardashians, Carrie Diaries. We have done a lot of shows here. Got to keep going. All our shows, got to keep the lights on.
It's fun. It's fun to talk about them after the show and get a whole bunch of fan feedback. So definitely thanks for listening in, for rating, commenting. We love to hear from you.
Definitely. We're big fans ourselves. We love Face Off, and that's why we're here chit-chatting about it all the time. And I'm really excited about next week because they're doing Wonderland and Wizard of Oz.
Next week, I feel, is our week. It's just all the things
Wait
that we
till
love
our costumes next week, you guys. We're going all out. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm excited because of their backgrounds too. You know, we have a cake decorator. We have one that's been in theater. We have, you know, Sig, who we were talking about acid with him last week. So that's going to be a trip.
Create something crazy.
He's going to make something magical, and they're going to take us out of this world. I'm sure of it. And I think it's going to be one of my favorite episodes.
I am excited for, I mean, everybody who's left especially. These are the really, really fun people. So they're going to take us down the rabbit hole into Emerald City. So
it could be such weird combinations because, you know, you have all these beautiful, like, fairy tale, bubbly, bright colored characters, but then you also have, like, the creepy flying monkeys and like the scary, terrifying things. So there can be some really interesting hybrids. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited to see tonally how different they are from the really fanciful, happy ones versus the really dark, twisted, maniacal aspect. And this group is the best at coming up with these big polar opposites that you're just like, how are the judges even going to pick between these?
This show is just making me progressively more excited for Halloween this year. I feel like I'm just going to, you know, go into a costume explosion.
Oh, it's going to be...
It's going to be wild.
Face-Off inspired Halloween already.
I like it. Speaking of which, they have the Halloween Horror Nights Maze that's based off of Face-Off Syfy. That's going to be at Universal Studios this year. Coming really soon, you know, end of September, early October. Be sure to check that out. And let's jump into some predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right, who do you think's the weakest link?
I feel like Drew, as much as I love him, I'm hoping that he doesn't slip, but just looking at who's left for this Wizard of Oz challenge, I feel like he may not do as extravagant a makeup as some of the other ones, and I feel like going big for this next one is going to really be what sets off who gets the top look. So I could potentially see that his detail and his subtlety working somewhat against him.
I could see that. I could see Kaylin, Sig, and Dina really shining with this episode just because of their backgrounds and how whimsical they are. In the preview, they show Sasha fumbling around, so not sure if that's going to be her strongest. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm excited to see it.
Me too. Well, we will be back here in the studio next week with a special guest and extra special outfits as usual. But where can they find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Alana Jordan, ALANA JORDAN, and on Instagram at that Alana Jordan girl. By the way, when you're on Twitter, Sig Neutron did the best ice bucket challenge.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. You guys have to check it out.
We tweeted it, so you guys go on, check his page, watch it. It's awesome. And Danica,
so
where can we find you?
And you guys can find me online on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Danica Kennedy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AFTERBUZZ TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.